So the arc tools are here in the tool palette. There are 3 arc tools plus a pie tool. I'm not going to get into the pie tool. I'm going to talk about the 3 arc tools. The arc tools are will allow you to draw curves in SketchUp. Which one of these tools you use is going to depend on the situation. I'm going to explain a little bit how each one of these works. So the one that I use the most, I think the easiest one to use is this one, the 2-point arc. The way the 2-point arc works is that you're going to click 3 times. You're going to click once to draw one of the edges of your arc, a second time to draw one of the edges of your arc, and then you're going to click a third time to decide the curvature of something that turns into a circle between your 2 points. So a good way to think about this is think about holding a string in your hands. You click a first time that's one end of the string in your fingers. You click a second time, that's the other end of the string in your fingers. And then from there, you're going to bend the string and in between your fingers. So you're going to click that third time to give it a curvature. So this is string between the fingers. Of course, with the unusual property that the string turns more and more into a circle. That's just where my analogy falls apart. But I still think this is a good image to have. The second tool that I'm going to talk about is this one, the arc tool. And this one works a little bit more like a compass. So if you've ever used a compass in school, you know that you're going to click a first time. That's going to be like pinning the center of the compass in the circle. So that's going to be the middle of your circle. Then you're going to click a second time to, that's going to be your pencil or your whatever you're using. So that's going to be the radius of your circle, essentially. And then you're going to click a third time, and that's going to be the line that you draw. So again, 2-point arc is the line between the fingers. Normal arc is a compass. Center of the circle, edge of the circle, and draw. Then we have the 3-point arc, which I think I almost never use. This one, you click, your first point is going to be one of the points in your circle. The second point is going to be another point in your circle. And the third point is another point in your circle. So essentially, this one's a bit harder for me to explain because I hardly ever use it, but you're basically defining 3 points on a circle and saying the circle that I'm going to draw has to pass through these 3 points. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. You will tell me that my circles look really broken up here. They don't look like real circles. They look more like some kind of complex polygon. And that's correct. With the arc and the circle tool in SketchUp, when you draw a circle, this is talking about the radius, that's not going to help. Let's start over. Let's go to this guy. Let's see if I can do this. See if I can remember how to do this. When you're drawing a circular shape, there's a default of how many segments your circle has, and that is something that you can control in different ways. I can't remember all the ways off the top of my head, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for one way to do it is to look for the entity info. So when you select, it's in window, entity info. You see, I couldn't even remember where to find it. I had to type it in my search bar up here. So good thing with SketchUp is that if you can't remember where things are, if you remember what they're called, you can usually find them. So entity info is going to give me some it's popping up here. It's going to give me some information about the object that I've chosen. And in the case of an arc or a circle, it's going to tell me how many segments my arc or circle is. So you see right here, it's 12. If I change that to 24, you see that my circle gets smoother. If I change it to 30, it gets smoother. So basically I'm adding